Morning guys, hey, it's Len from Mercury Man Garage and Outdoors. Well, we're out in the wood yard today and we're going to be doing some wood maintenance, firewood maintenance, I guess you'd say. We got some stuff to move around. I sprayed some weed killer over in this area over here, and I want to move some wood over there to spray over where the other wood is at. So it's kind of a firewood dance, I guess you'd say. And we're trying to beat the rain too. So you can see in the background there, it's kind of cloudy and there's rain in the forecast. So we're trying to stay ahead of that. But another thing too is something I want to try on my channel. And my wife kind of brought this to my attention watching some of the channels I watch. Is a lot of guys have a slogan. And I don't really have one. I have one in my description of my channel. I don't know if you guys have ever read that. There's a description of what my channel is about, and I suggest you guys look at that. It's kind of gives you an idea of what I'm about, what I do here on my channel. But at the end, I say, find your thing. And the description tells you what my thing is, and some of what my things are, but the channel is about that. And I suggest that you find your thing too. So that's going to be my slogan. I'm going to try to end my videos or with that, or say it during the video. But, you know, we all got to find our thing. Whatever it is. Find your thing. Be happy. And, you know, do the best you can with it. But anyway, what we're going to do today is I got some... Turn you around here. I got some mulberry right here that I got from neighbor Scott that I want to move over there where I sprayed the weed killer. And that was a few days ago I sprayed, so it shouldn't hurt the wood at all. You know, as far as soaking into it or anything like that. But I want to move all this out of here, brush hog this, spray it for the poison ivy, and just get it staged over here so I can buck it up and get ready for splitting. So let's get going. All right, another thing, guys, once I get that mulberry all moved, I got some cherry I want to cut up. So we're gonna get going on that, and I have some new things that I'm gonna use to do that. I got a couple of new things for the wood yard that I want to show you, so stay tuned. All right, well, there we go. Got all the cherry moved over, and I went ahead and moved 3 poles of locust and 1 oak as well. So now I got that whole back side of the wood yard cleaned up so I can brush hog and spray and get that cleaned up. But as I'm doing all this, I'm watching those horses out there. Those things amaze me. I don't know what it is. It's just makes me feel like I'm in the wild, wild west or something, but they're so cool. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get these cherry logs marked up in the 1 oak, and we'll get to cutting, and we'll show you what I got. All right, guys. Well, here's the first one. I got a 20-inch Sugihara bar for my $261. I also got an 18-inch, so I bought two and got a little bit of a discount. I think it was $5 off each bar through sawsuppliers.com. And you guys in the Woodhound community know about Saw Suppliers and what a great company they are. So I highly recommend getting your saw supplies, chainsaw supplies, firewood supplies, whatever, through them. And what a great company. But that's the first thing I got. I'm gonna put this to work. First time I've ever tried it. So let's get going. Ants. Not good. Well, we're just gonna have to work around that rot and those ants. We'll split that away and get all that garbage stuff out of there. But first impressions of the bar, the Sugihara bar, not impressed. Just kidding. I don't think it's the bar. It's not cutting real good. I think the chain needs sharpening. But I don't have a lot to do here. I'm just going to continue on. Do more of a thorough review, I guess you'd say, with a sharp chain, and do an 18 and a 20-inch bar comparison maybe. But yeah, I don't think it's the bar. Pretty sure it's not that. It's just a dull chain. Let's continue. Well, I'm cutting up this other cherry here, and I'm thinking I had a dull chain, but I mean, look at these chips. Does that look like chips from a dull chain? They don't to me. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does that look like dull chain to you? It looks like pretty good chips to me. I think I'm gonna switch to the 18-inch bar and give that one a try. All right, guys, well, we switched out to the 18-inch bar, and that chain does appear to be sharper. It just feels like it's a little sharper. So that's got to be the problem, right? Let's give this one a try. Well, that definitely made a difference. It is not the bar. It's the chain. But like I said, the chips from that 20-inch bar and chain, I mean, didn't look horrible. That looks like a good, decent, sharp chain chip. And this is from the 18-inch chain. Very similar. So I don't know. Must be something I'm missing. So maybe you experts can chime in. What do you think? Operator error? I'm just kind of standing here downwind from this cherry and looking at the horses. And I'm thinking, man, does this cherry smell good? That really smells good. Just kind of admiring my work. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna finish these other ones off camera. I got this honey locust to do and all this mulberry. Probably knock that out and get that done today. And we'll get to splitting this probably in another video. Get to splitting all this up. But let's check out my last new toy that I want to show you. All right, well, just to recap, Woodyard Edition #1 was the two Sugihara bars that I bought for the MS261, an 18-inch and a 20-inch. And those are going to work out really well. I just need to remember to sharpen my chains before I use them. And Woodyard Edition #2 is a gorilla cart. I've always wanted one of these, and I see a lot of guys on YouTube have them, and they're really nice. And this will come in real handy when I'm splitting wood and throwing off the, the oddball chunks and waste and stuff like that. I'll just chuck it into the wagon and bring it to the dump pile and dump it. Because, a lot of times I'll usually use the bucket on the tractor for doing that, but that's usually where I put my splits to haul them to the wood yard or the wood rack. So now I'll have a spot I can throw the scraps and the cutoffs and things like that. I'll just toss them in there and bring them to the wood pile. Let me show you how this thing works. I guess you could also call this a man's wagon. As kids, we always love to have wagons. And, even as a grown-up, they're kind of cool to have. But this one's even cooler because it's got a dump function. You just pull up that yellow lever and, you can dump out your scrap wherever you want to put it. The gorilla cart. Now, the wife and I got this at an auction. It's Christian Neighbors is what it is. It's a local charity in our neighborhood that we support every year. And I will say I did not pay regular price for this. It was much more, but it's all going to a good cause. Definitely a heavy-duty, well-built wagon. Just like a miniature dump trailer. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for today. I'm going to continue on and cut up that locust and that mulberry behind me here and keep going as long as I can hold out, because it's starting to warm up. And once again, it looks like rain on the way. So far, so good. It's held off. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. My new equipment that I got, the Gorilla Cart and the Sugihara bars. Those are going to come in real handy in the wood yard. And I recommend you guys check out sawsuppliers.com for any of your chainsaw needs. Great company. But I'm going to continue on here. And, you know, as far as my new slogan, guys, I'm going to try to end the video with that on all my videos. And, you know, just what's your thing? And what I mean by that is, you know, what do you like to do? What's your interest? You know, it can range from what we do here with firewood all the way up to, I don't know, flying a plane, whatever. Sky's the limit, I guess, and things you can do that interest you. But I mean, this is my thing. It's one of my things, and I'm going to try to focus on that more. You know, I got my car too. I'm going to try to focus on that again. That's another one of my things. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to incorporate that more into my videos, and hopefully you guys can, you know, find your thing too. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, give me a like, and leave a comment. And remember, find your thing.